Hey everyone, I'm back again. I'm making a super long video to share with you. I actually had over 2 hours of footage making these DIY embellishments, so I've cut it down and hopefully it's really interesting for you. It was actually more fun than I thought to make these. I didn't think I would, I've been watching lots of people make them and I didn't think I was very interested at all in that it would be my style or that I could make something I would use. But I think what I've made is some awesome embellishments and titles and tags, etc. that I could easily use on many layouts. So keep, subscribe down below because you could be watching me make some layouts using these embellishments. So now that I've spoken over this tag, but you can obviously see what I was doing, I used the stencil and the modelling paste that we got in the kit, in the mixed media kit, and just put some on the middle there, not over the whole thing obviously, just to add some bit of detail and a bit of texture. On goes this large embellishment kit, and we got all this stuff from the Pebbles Girl Squad, was it? Or something girl? I don't know, I probably should have checked before I did a voiceover. It's going to be down below in the link to Kitaholic Kits shop, and their website where you can subscribe to their kits will be down below, so if you want to check that out, I highly recommend it. It's a lovely Aussie subscription kit which do sell and ship overseas, so don't worry about that, but there's some, it just all matches so well and goes really well together. Anyway, put on this, so there's 2 ephemera pieces, that ampersand sign, which is something I don't always use very well. I sometimes use as a layering piece because I don't know, if I put in that on the page, it has to be part of the title because I read it. So moving on to the next tag here, and sometimes when I've finished making a tag, you'll notice that I show you a bit of a close-up. Otherwise, if you don't get to see the close-up as you're watching this video, at the end you can see there's a close-up of all the embellishments that I made and all the Project Life cards that I made. So we got these lovely phrase stickers in the kit, and I'm trying to work out, holding it up there, what will fit on the tag. And then I remembered that I'm not making Project Life cards. It can hang over the side. It's a-okay. It's going to be on a layout. I can make it work. So using these washi strips, and some of them were a bit tricky to get off without pulling the backing up, but on they go. Just ripping the edges, which is really cool to do with washi. It makes it look less perfect and more like it was there the whole time. And on goes, I just wanted to put that flower. One, it adds to the design, but also to cover that hole in the tag because I wasn't going to use it as a tag. We got some lovely wood veneer from Corbett Creations, which such good quality, but also good designs and stuff, and it really goes so well with the kit. So here is a puffy sticker, and yeah, I'm just playing around with what I could. So you can see up the top corner there that you can see the lid, not the lid, the box, what is it, the second layer, the top, I don't know, the little box where I keep my kit in. It is a really useful box. It's a 13 by 13 size, and it fits all the papers. And then in the top there you can see I have a box where it fits all the embellishments on. So I've just got that out of screen a little bit, but you can see it, and that's where I'm pulling all my stuff from. And as I go on, there's lots of stuff underneath around where the shot of the screen is. So it's pretty cool. I actually really didn't think I would get into this, but it turns out that I had to stop because my phone ran out of battery and I was really itching to do some more. So there's lots that I did off camera as well as lots that I did on camera, obviously, because there's a half-hour video. So check out at the end especially, because you'll be able to see all those close-ups of the ones that you didn't get to see me making. So this mason jar, it's, they're pretty cool, and those kind of things are in on the design, front, but I don't understand and I don't have any thought as to what I would use a mason jar for. So I just making this into the DIY embellishment helps me a lot, especially to use this little ephemera piece. And I think the way it turned out, I'll be able to put it on a layout or a Project Life card, or etc., etc., and be able to make it work much easier than if it was just separate in my stash. I'd probably have it in my kit. I'd probably at the end of it, when I was doing a killer kit video, I'd probably still have it because I wouldn't be able to, or I would put it as a layering piece that you could only see a little bit out the side. So as you can see, I've just put on that ephemera piece, used my tiny attacher a couple of times, and some nice enamel dots and stars. It was really, there was lots in this kit this month. There was enamel dots, there was puffy stickers, there was ephemera packs, there was the cut apart sheets that are designed by someone on the design team. They're awesome. And there was wood veneer and there was resin pieces. There was lots of things. There was 2 packets of thickers that I got because of the stash. There was tiny word stickers. There was tiny alpha stickers. It goes on and on. There was Project Life cards, everything. So as you can see, I've just used a frame, and that picture with all those flowers is from one of the cut apart sheets, and I've made it work. So when I was putting that together, I was like, oh, what could I do? And then I found that bike, and my boys have been riding their bike a lot this year. Oh, excuse me. This year. So I found out. I'm pretty sure I knew that. I thought that I could make this card with the bike, and it would go on a layout that I've taken with them riding their bike, because every time I get an opportunity, I take another photo. Why not? So it says #awesome. So a lot of this in this kit has hashtags, which is not always a bad thing, because I've started to get, pretty cool and hip and be able to use them, like all the young people. Maybe not quite so young and hip. Anyway, so there's that together. It's from the cut apart sheet, and I find out that, why do I keep saying find out? I'm going to a tiny attach it on there, and these brads, that's something else that we got in the kit. They're brads, and I didn't know how I was going to use them, but they came in so handy for these embellishment clusters and embellishments, DIY Project Life cards, etc., whatever you want to call them, they were really handy. So here I go. I put that sticker at the top, which does come off, but I'm going to tiny attach this on here, just putting them on the side there. Ta-da-ta-da! Drum roll! No, not a drum roll, just a da-da-da! So I take that sticker off. I didn't think it was balancing right and too many words, and then I realised it took off some of the paper. So I had to find something to stick up there, and I found a lovely cloud sticker. It looks good now. So even though it looked good without the sticker, but made sure that it was looking like I hadn't broken it when I'd taken over that bit of paper. On goes some enamel dots. I thought I was finished, but then I went, oh, enamel dots. So the enamel dots end up sitting on my desk there, and pretty much used on a lot of the clusters, and I still have a lot left. I still have a lot of kit left, even though I made, what was the total? 6. When I put that together, it looked like a face, and I thought, I can't do that. So took up the round shape and then tried to use this one. And then I found this, and I thought, oh, that goes together, and I made a different embellishment. So the good thing is, while you're just experimenting, just go with what you find and what you're flowing, and so move along and come back to something if you've got half an idea going. So this, when I got the kit, I thought, oh no, I don't drink coffee. It gives me migraines, so it's not very good for me to drink at all, and I haven't had any since I was a teenager when I made that correlation. But I do drink hot chocolate, and there's one cafe at work, near work, that if I got the time while I'm going over to head office, I will get a lovely hot chocolate, and it is the best, and because I need to have lactose-free, it is the best lactose-free hot chocolate in the mall. And, I work in a Westfield mall, and it is there's a lot of options, but this is the only one I come back to all the time. So on goes, it's definitely my favourite. And I just write hot chocolate with one of my pens. And this is one of the 0.1. I've got a Zig writer, I've got Sharpies, I've got another brand, Stadler. Anything I could find, really. I've got a couple from Ecosys, the craft shop. And I've got a couple of sizes. So on goes, and come back to this card with the good vibes. Good vibes, baby. And I'm just using one of these labels So as I was saying before, I made a total of six 3x4 Project Life cards, one 4x6 Project Life like filler and journal cards. And then I made, I believe, 21 embellishment clusters. And I still have enough of my kit. Obviously I've got all the paper, but I still have so much embellishments that even if I didn't use these DIY embellishments, I could still make a lot of layouts, a lot of Project Life, a lot of art journal, anything that I wanted to make. But the good thing is I've got the option to either use the embellishments and add or by itself one of these DIY embellishments. So stay tuned, because I will share what I make, obviously, and definitely have a killer kit video as we're going along. So on that goes. So nice and simple, but pretty fun. And as you can see, some of these I've got an idea of a layout, like that bike one. Other ones I'm not too sure, you know, like I'm just like, oh, that goes really well, nice together, and I can use that on a cluster, on a layout, no problems. This one, the guitars, which is sometimes a random object, one of those random embellishments, but my son had a trial lesson of a guitar, electric guitar mind you, but I still get away with using this embellishment on there, I reckon. Or I'll just make it work, and if you don't like it or someone else doesn't like it, too bad, because it's my scrapbooking, it's my Project Life, it's going to be the way I like it, and it's, you know, it's for the process, it's my hobby. Yes, it's to keep memories and have them available so that my children can see it, or my husband or myself or anyone like that, but it's also because I need a lot of downtime from my stressful job, and it's just fun to do, fun to create, as we all know, because if you're watching this, you obviously are inclined to scrapbook or have some fun or be creative. So pretty simple, couple of stickers, a label behind it on the tag, and some enamel dots. Like I said, I used a lot. So there's a Resin Heart. It goes on there. It looks really nice. I don't know why I take it off. Isn't it funny how when you're in the moment and you're like, oh no, that doesn't work, but when you watch it back, if you're filming, you're like, why did I take it off? It looks really nice. But yes, so it's a tag, it's got a hole, I'm not covering the hole up, so in goes some thread, some twine, and on it is done. So close up of that one, well, kind of in shot. So this is one of the Project Life cards that came on the cut apart sheet, and I'm just trying, I found those banner wood veneer pieces before. Oh, that came from the Cocoa Vanilla wood veneer set that we got, and I'm just trying to work out what I could do. So fiddling around, and I found this lovely ephemera piece, Let Your Light Shine, and that's something that could go on many layouts. And this beautiful flower, there was some lovely florals. So just making that card into a banner, because I need to cover over that speech bubble, because it's not going to go with the thought that I had happening. And sticking it down, committing. Oh, and I had a hair stuck to the double-sided tape. That's what I was pulling apart. How crazy. So there was so much in the cut-apart sheets. I ended up getting 3. One is a full label cut-apart sheet, and then there's 2 with labels with 1-inch circle embellishments and words, and flowers and hearts and Project Life cards and all kind of things. It's so lovely. The cut-apart sheets are just amazing every month, and they just go so well with the collection and the kits that you'd be lost without them, I reckon. Oh, so these stickers, these thickers actually had these lovely stars, asterisks, and on they go to make it look nice. Yay! And there's another frame. I'm trying to work out what I wanted to do, and I went, it's not going to work. But then I went, oh yeah. So this is some packaging from the Enamel Dots. Did we get that? Chamel Enamel Dots? I can't read that. But it's Chamel something. And so that had lovely print on it. So I'm just using that to back the frame. And so make sure you look at the packaging when you're getting things and you're opening things. Don't throw it all away, because sometimes it's useful. Obviously the plastic's good for the packaging mixed media technique, but also like this, it's really nice patterns on there. There's things you could cut out. and use. Sometimes they have like pictures of the embellishments. Sometimes they're a good size that you could cut them apart and use them as embellishments as well, so that you get twice as much. So here's the small figures, and I just use these words, letters to spell out happy. And as you can see, I've pulled out some of this wood veneer from the cocoa vanilla pack that we got, and laying them down. And it's small. That frame is much smaller than a Project Life. Well, not much, but enough smaller that I could go over the edge with the flowers, and it's not going to be a problem. So I don't let you sit watching me put on those alpha stickers, because I mucked around with them so much I couldn't get them straight, and they're still not straight, but I couldn't get them where I wanted them, and then my flowers moved off and I had to re-glue the flowers. So anyway, I cut that out for you, but then I moaned and groaned about it for you, so you pretty much got the same kind of experience. And I just obviously outlined it. This little tag was so pretty in the end. It was one of my favourites. So I found this August. It's a 1-inch circle from the cut apart, and then this lovely resin star, and they go so well together. Look, see? And even just that's pretty nice. But then I thought, oh, I could write 2017, even though I'm only up to nearly up to March in my album this year. So this one will sit, or I'll have to find some photos to use this embellishment cluster straight away. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till I'm up to there. But then I thought, oh, I can't fit 2017, so I thought 17 will work. And I thought, do I want to cover over that tag? Do I want to, put 2 lines of the numbers so that it read 2017, which is not always one of my favourite things to do. But then I thought, no, I'll just go with the 17. So I outlined it with my brush stroke pen, and stick it on, committing, and 17. Then I went, oh, actually, because I'm using that circle, I've got room to write 2017. So on it goes, mucking around with the placement as per usual, but look at that. And then I was trying to work out what I wanted behind it. It looked like it needed something to ground that 2017, which even though I could do when I went to the when I put it on a layout, but I wondered if it needed it now. So just putting some ribbon on as a tag, like to make it a tag rather than the thread. Stapling it on, and it looks really cool. Wood veneer. Oh, look at the tiny heart. And then here I go, come back to it. And do I commit to this one? Or maybe I don't have any on them. No. On goes this one. And because I think the greeny aquary colour is the same, that's why, as the resin, that it's what needed to happen. See how beautiful it is? So there's a big large ephemera piece and these tags again. So sometimes I was just trying to work out what I wanted to start with next, or I'd fiddle and then it would change, and just work out what I thought would look nice. So this is the way this one's going. And the craft is something that is so lovely. It goes so nice with the wood veneer and everything, and pretty much craft is like black. It goes with a lot of things. But it's something I don't often work with, so it was really nice to have a try. So this, I'm just cutting off those leaves because that's going to be too much, and cut over the word joy. But on it goes. Some puffy stickers. See, so just muck around with the placement. Not everything needs to be stuck so much that you can't play with it at all, but sometimes it is. And on goes some word stickers. They're just such a lovely, nice colour. What colour would you call them? Like a peach colour? And just using my Sharpie this time. So every time I've reached for a pen, it's been a different one. I just got a pile of them sitting in a little, like a fabric bucket, hanging off my shelf next to me. On goes some lovely enamel stars. Yay! Another one done. So this one is going to be the word create. And as you can see, it overhangs, but it doesn't matter because it's going to fit onto a layout or an album, or art journal or something like that, and it will be good. So covering over that circle again, so it's not a tag, so on goes a label, a big circle label. And I'm thinking about a brad. You call it? Oh, I didn't stick that one down. So committing to that, stick it down before I put a brad in, because obviously that's not going to work otherwise. and some lovely colours. Pulling the hashtag down, there's a couple of extra hashtags on the phrase thickers, just so that if you want to use them you can, like this. So hashtag create, and obviously this can go on a layout with probably some scrapbooking kind of things, or maybe some YouTube or something that I would be documenting about this creative journey. Otherwise I could put it on one of my baby boy layouts saying that I created them, but I don't think that would be the way I would be going. On goes Puffy sticker. So see how it's not, they look like they're deeply involved, but they're quite quick and easy to do once you get the flow. I seriously surprised myself because I didn't think I would enjoy the process or be able to start or be able to make something that I thought I would be able to use. So this is lovely brad. Look how detailed it is. It's got the the flare bit in the middle, then all these paper additions to it, and up goes. Oh yeah, so foam dotted up this love you, a 1-inch circle to make it stand out. And then on the enamel shapes there is these triangles, which I hadn't used any of them. I don't think I use them on any others at the moment either, but just to fill in that bit of space. And I can take that off if I wanted to do some journaling on there when I added it to the layout, but it just looks really nice. I don't think I probably would. So in this packet of tags, which, sorry I can't remember which brand they are, but if you look at the website you'd be able to check out what we got in the kits this month. And they've got some smaller ones as well as those bigger ones that I've been using. So I'm trying to work out what I could do with it. And this is where I get the idea to start to do some project life cards. So on that goes, and I'm thinking this is the way I'm going. And watch this. Blink your eyes and it goes in a total different direction. So committing to that tag on there, because if you don't ever commit, you don't ever start. And then I thought, oh, I could put a a word. So on goes sweet. And then, I don't need much more after this. So on goes a brad. And watch this, I didn't position it properly, so I have to, luckily I can pick up the word and just move it. But on goes the brad, and then I reposition the phrase. And I fiddle a bit, but I don't think I put anything else on there. So there's so much wood veneer and just so much stuff in this kit. So you can see I already used lots of flowers and there was still more to play with. So just outlining and realising that I'm not in frame properly. Putting on a phrase sticker, word sticker, but then wanting to make it a banner so that it has a bit of detail. So cutting one end to the other end into the middle. And on it goes. So there's just a simple one, this one. I don't think I show you too much of it actually because it's quite quick. So on goes a label, and I realised I wanted a pink one, not a green one. And the ticket obviously says, "You're great. Best friends," because those two, you got to think about the phrases and the words and what it's saying and what the whole cluster is saying together. Because obviously if you're going to write "you're great," but then you put a word sticker or the heart says something like "what a bad day," like that's not going to go together and you wouldn't end up using it. So see, I've got all these weird little shapes of tags left, and I thought, what could I do with it? And I thought if I put them all together I could use them and it would go, because they all match, they all go together. And I thought, I could just have a try with this. So in goes some twine because I wanted to join them. Hold on, my son wants to say hello. Here you go. Hello. He's been standing there for about the last 5 minutes, just really quietly, but which is good. But he's like hanging and hovering because I knew he wanted to talk. So I'm just positioning and then realising that they're going to keep moving. So I use the tiny attacher to staple them. And just moving some of the twine so that the twine was holding it down and making it look good. So here I go with some fiddling. Trying to work out exactly, because I didn't have something in mind when I was putting it together. Because sometimes you do, and sometimes you just go with the flow and see what happens. And that's just like any type of scrapbooking. Well, for myself anyway. I don't know if that's how everyone else goes. But sometimes I might have a sketch or a challenge or a design or something in mind that I've seen or want to do. Other times I'm just like, tell me what you want me to make with you products, and the products speak to me, or the photo speaks to me. And my son's going, what? They speak to you? You're crazy, Mum. So on goes some flowers, adding some texture. So a good thing about when you make the embellishment clusters, and I don't know why I didn't use this word. These words would have looked so good. Even though the word I choose looks good too, but that one was so nice there. Anyway, so one of the things to remember when you make the DIY embellishments is to add some texture, some layers, and some depth, rather than just all being flat, which is not always a bad thing either. But there was missing that part there. I needed something there, so I needed to find something. But yeah, you need to think about, different textures. So some wood veneer, some stickers, some ephemera, some enamel dots, some puffy stickers, something that's going to make it different heights, but also different, you want to look at it, and the best way things look is that you want to touch them, because they look really nice and inviting. So one of the good ways about doing that, and it goes with layouts and project life, etc., for me, is that you do different textures, different varieties, different things to look at, that they all go together and complement each other. So just outlining that word, because it was fading in there, even though it hanging off the edge, but it was fading into the background. So I really wanted to use this You're My Person ephemera piece. I kept looking at it, but then I was like, right, I'm going to do it. So I'm trying to work out what I'm going to make, how I'm going to use it. So this is what I'm doing here. And so you can see how you might start with something going, oh, this will work, but then things change as you go. And then at some point, you just got to go, right, I'm committing because that looks really great. And then totally change it because I'm onto this bike again. And once again, I know I'm going to use this embellishment because I've got photos of my boys riding their bikes. I've got plenty of them. They're pretty cute, because they're my kids. Well, my son just looked at me again like, don't say I'm cute on YouTube, Mum. Sorry. So he's not cute, but his brother's cute. I'm just joking. Anyway, I know I'll use these embellishments. So on it goes, and I knew I just needed a different bit of colour to add to the background. So on goes that label, and on goes some enamel dots, because it doesn't need anything that's going to take away and distract from that yay or that bike. So enamel dots is just something that will add some texture, but also not take away and make it, distract from the main aim of this DIY embellishment. Wow. So this is a lot of talking. Are you guys sick of me? Have you turned down the volume and you can't even hear me asking you this question? Hopefully you're enjoying this as well as much as I did when I made it. So family time, so special. Obviously that's going to be used on anything that we do. Okay, hold on, my son wants to talk again. Go.
When are you going to do a live vlog, Mummy?
Oh, a live one? I don't know. I wonder if anyone's interested in doing that. So comment below if you're interested in what my son just suggested in terms of a live vlog. But I don't even know where to start. I guess if you are interested, I could have a look into it. But we'll see. My son's going, yes, yes. And I'm like, he's obviously my #1 fan. It's pretty cute, pretty nice. Oh, he's saying maybe he's not. Oh, so lovely. Okay, so here's a really cool one that is one of my favorites, and this is from the Studio Calico washi tape, and it is just the packaging behind it. So I've cut out the number 3, and using the stencil again, I just put on some metallic blue Heidi Swap paste that came with the kit, and just making these lovely flowers everywhere. I thought I could make 3 because there's often photos of my 2 boys and myself, but then as I'm making it, and I fiddle a bit, so you get to see a little bit of fiddling. You don't get to see all the fiddling, but I really wanted to make something work, but I couldn't make it work. Anyway, so I end up with this girl squad and this flower, not flower, Well, I have used a lot of flowers, but it's a heart because there's 2 bridesmaids and myself, so I thought I'd use that with a bridesmaid photo from my wedding. So I just really love the colour, that aqua metallic colour of the modelling paste, and this lovely oh, that looks really nice. Why did I keep that? This Project Life card. I really wanted to make it work, and you see I fiddle, and this flower looks really nice too, but for some reason I just couldn't make it work, so I end up cutting not using the Project Life card, and here I'm just gluing it to commit to that heart and word. And I fiddle and I fiddle, and I end up just leaving it like that with a black outline using one of my pens. But I can't see, that looks nice too. Silly, sometimes I can obviously add that later when I'm using it on a layout. Anyway, so you can see I just use the 3, just put the heart in the word. So here's another Project Life card because I really like that yellow, so I wanted to use it. And I just used a ephemera piece that says kind is the new cool. Another brad and a tag, so I used up all those tags that came in the packet, and a resin and a heart, so, and stars. So I've taken from Inky not only the concept of DIY embellishments, but also the fact that hearts and stars do match and they can go together to embellish my layouts and my Project Life cards, these DIY embellishments. So definitely try if you're on the edge about that. Stars and hearts do look really nice together. So I'm just using a pencil this time to do an outline, and I did a really bad one on that side, so I erased it, which is nice that I did it in pencil so that I could erase it. Oh, and the resin heart moved because of the glue. And another Project Life card. I must have ran out of tags by now, and then I was like, ooh, these cards are so nice. So something to remember with Project Life cards is that you have to cut the edges so that you can fit them in your pockets, rather than like the DIY embellishments that could overhang. So fry, yay! Woohoo! So there's a lovely sticker on top of this label and this ephemera flower piece, outlining the heart. And there's a little bit of space on that label that I can either leave it like that, or I can write the date or something tiny on when I put it in the layout. And I can use it as an embellishment cluster. It doesn't have to just be a Project Life card. Depends on what how I end up styling and designing as I go. So these 2 banner pieces are from the cut apart sheets, and I'm using another brad. So I'm just using my die pick to make the holes, just because it's sharp and it's just going through paper. I don't need to worry, but I do make sure that I pick it up, which probably doesn't look very safe on the video because of the angle, but I pick it up so that the point doesn't go through onto my mat, on my black mat. So this ends up being a lot of room to write some journaling, and so I write some lines. I draw some lines so that I remember that I was going to journal on this card. And the yellow tag down the bottom is a bit of room where I could use a date stamp to stamp it. Here, my son wants to talk again.
Hi.
Riveting. So we're coming up to the end, and so keep watching, because as I said earlier, there is a close-up of the what are they? I keep going to say layouts. The embellishments, the DIY embellishments and cards, because there is some that I made when my phone had died and I just couldn't hold in the creativity. I needed to create them and keep going. So check them all out and let me know down below your thoughts and any comments and etc. or have any questions. I'd love some feedback. So this one started as a 3x4 card with this hooray. Then I realised it was just going to be too much like that sweet card, but also it was just too bunched up, that word. It needed to spread out. So looking, and I had the same pattern in a 4x6 card. Go.
People beware, you're in for a scare.
So apparently he just said something from Goosebumps, if anyone was unable to hear that because it wasn't very clear. Make sure you don't knock over my drink behind you. So just laying on some flowers, some of the stickers, some of the Puffy stickers, and some of those leaves, just to make a lovely filler card. And it could just have nothing on that label, or it could have a date, or you know, something small to go in on my layout. So here's all the close-ups, and let me know. I'll have some more up on my Instagram of the close-ups with individual photos, but let me know which one's your favourite. And if you have, like I said, well, a lot of what I've said is leave me a comment. So if you hadn't got the clue by now, pretty sure you have, but if you haven't, please leave me a comment, because I'd love to respond and hear your thoughts. Anyway, I will catch you next time, and I will definitely be using these in many layouts and Project Life and etc. this month. So stay tuned, because I will share them as I can. And as per usual, thanks for watching, especially if you stayed this whole time. 36 minutes is a long video to watch, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye. Bye bye.